Welcome to Biblical Greek. In today's lesson, we're going to cover the nouns of the second declension. If you remember in our overview of inflection, verbs are conjugated, nouns are declined. Declined, the Latin word meaning to fall away. Fall away from what? Fall away from the nominative case, the changes that come in a word based on whether it is nominative or vocative or accusative or genitive or dative, singular or plural. It falls away from that basic category of nominative. Now, what is a case? Very quickly, if you remember from our English grammar overview, a case is the form or function of a word which shows its relation to some other word in the sentence. So basically, there are 5 cases. Nominative. Nominative represents the subject of the verb or the complement to an intransitive verb. So make sure you go back and listen to that English grammar lesson. How about vocative? What is vocative? Vocative is more of a address. O son, O word, O man. Vocative. Accusative is the case of the direct object of a transitive verb. So, direct object is accusative. And then genitive represents the case of possession of something, belonging to something. So, the apostle's brother. Apostles would be in the genitive case. And finally, the dative, which is the case of the indirect object. An example of that is the owner gave him the donkey. So in that situation, the donkey is the direct object and is accusative, but gave him would be the dative. Okay? So keep that in mind. So let's look at the declension. And we're focusing on the second declension, which is probably the most important declension. You have the first, second, third, obviously. It is the most popular one and also sort of easy or easier to remember. So when you look at grammar textbooks, most of the elementary textbooks will begin with the second declension, and that can be very confusing to some students. It's like, why? We should begin with the first and then go to the second and then go to the third. But why are we beginning with the second? And if it's the second, why don't we make it the first so we don't confuse students? Well, it is what it is. You can't go back and change history. So, having said that, let's deal with the second declension. Okay, the second declension. And I'm focusing on the masculine. So, and the feminine. So let's begin with that now. Just the masculine, by the way, and then maybe we'll even do the neuter. Of course, singular, plural. Okay, second declension, masculine. Noun. Just in case you're still not sure on that, verbs are conjugated, nouns are declined. First is nominative. Okay. Second, vocative. Now I know in Dr. Black's book, he actually, if I'm not wrong, he goes from nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, vocative, but we're going to do it this way and memorize the paradigm the way I'm showing it to you now. Nominative, vocative, accusative, genitive, and dative. There you have it. So let's think of let's focus on the ending first. Okay. Os. oi. E, oi. On, us. So, os, oi, e, oi, on, us, u, on. O, ois. That is your paradigm. Now let's add to this, let's say the word logos. Okay? So, logos, loge, logon, logu, logo, logoi, logoi, again the same. Logus, logon, logois. So, let's translate this. Logos, word. Very simple. As a subject, word. Words. Oh, word. Okay? Remember, it's an address. Vocative is address. Oh, word. Oh, words. Plural. Logon is, again, word, but this time it's functioning as an object in the sentence. When the Word was with God, the Word was God. Okay, so there's the nominative there, but here it is functioning as the object. Word, words, of the Word, of the words. To or for the Word, to or for the words. So this is the basic paradigm. I mean, you can change this and you can make it, because that means word, the logos. And typically you're memorizing the nominative singular case, logos. When you're memorizing vocabulary, that's what you're doing. You're not memorizing, definitely not memorizing the vocative, but not even the accusative or genitive or dative, definitely not the plural. You're memorizing the singular. The singular. So let's say the word is anthropos. Anthropos, man, as a subject. Anthropoi. Okay, it's men as a subject. Anthrope. Oh, man. Anthropoi. Now, here's where people get confused. They go, wait. Isn't the plural nominative the same as the plural vocative? Yes. But what makes a difference is the context. So when you're reading the sentence, you have to look at the context. If it's addressing men, then of course it's not a subject. It's not the nominative. So keep that in mind. Anthropon is the object, singular. And then anthropos is the object plural, which is men. Again, it's the same as this, except it's a direct object. Now, genitive, anthropou, what would that be? Of men, or men's, or man. So of man, or man's something. Anthropon, of men, plural, of men. And then finally, anthropo, two or four, the man, singular, and anthropois, two or four, the men. Okay, plural. So there you have the masculine second declension noun, singular, plural, and you have to just memorize this. And the way I memorize it is os, oi, e, oi, on, us, u, on, o, ois. Nominative, vocative, accusative, genitive, dative. Os, oi, e, oi, on, us, u, on, o, ois. And it just has to be memorized. It has to be memorized. Write it down. Write that paradigm, copy it again and again, without all the extra words, so you will not have all this there, just like that. You write that paradigm down again and again and again, and memorize os, oi, e, oi, on, us, u, on, o, ois. Os, oi, e, oi, on, us, u, on, o, ois. Os, oi, e, oi, on, us, u, on, o, ois. Memorize it, and that is one that you will see a lot. The masculine second declension of the noun.